And there is some talk about nullification in the media, thankfully. They're finally bringing this important principle of American government up. And a lot of people aren't necessarily sure, what does it mean? Well, the best way I can describe it is by explaining what it is not. And I will quote my friend Derek Sheriff, who heads up our Arizona chapter of the 10th Amendment Center. If you guys don't mind, I have a few notes here. He says, nullification is not secession or insurrection, but neither is it unconditional or unlimited submission. Nullification is not something that requires any decision, statement, or action from any branch of the federal government. Nullification is not the result of obtaining a favorable court ruling from the federal government. Nullification is not the petitioning of the federal government to start doing or stop doing anything. Nullification doesn't depend on any federal law being repealed, and it does not require permission from any person or institution outside your own state. In short, nullification is about sovereignty. It is about we the people exercising our rights, whether they, the government, want to give us their permission to or not. We, the sovereign people of California and Texas and Maine and New Hampshire and every state in between, need to start learning to exercise our rights no matter what they do, because we are the sovereign, we the people are in charge, and like I said, they, the government, work for us. We just need to start acting like it. Some people may think that this is a very difficult thing to do here in California, where our government is as corrupt as they come. No kidding, right? Well, let me tell you a quick story of how this actually works over the last few years. There is a massive nullification movement going on throughout the entire country. In 2007, one single state representative from Maine introduced legislation to defy the unconstitutional Real ID Act of 2005. In 2008, one single state representative from Oklahoma introduced a resolution to reaffirm the Constitution and the 10th Amendment as the founders gave it to us. In 2009, one single state representative from Montana introduced a bill to nullify federal gun laws in their state. Yeah, that's a good one. And also in 2009, one single state representative in Arizona introduced a proposal for a state constitutional amendment to effectively ban any national health care plan in the state of Arizona. These are single acts by individuals, and they've led to something massive. Since then, there have been 25 states that have banned the Real ID Act in their state. That law on the federal level, without going to court, without doing anything else, but just acting in the states, has made the law virtually null and void in the entire country. Seven states have already passed Firearms Freedom Acts. These are binding laws, nullifying federal gun laws and regulations in the states. And so far this year, 3 states have already passed healthcare freedom acts to ban any federal healthcare mandate in their states. That's Virginia, Idaho, and Utah. So the idea here is very straightforward. Like Samuel Adams said, it does not take a majority to prevail. It takes an irate, tireless minority, keen to set brush fires in people's minds. And I'm being called to leave. So before I go here, I hope I can leave you with one thing. And this is, I think, very important. We've heard a lot of this already today. The Constitution isn't necessarily about political parties. It isn't about political ideologies. And even though we've heard some very good candidates here, it's not about political candidates. The Constitution is about your liberty. It's about limiting the federal government to delegated powers so we, the people, can take over everything else where it belongs in our states. I've been interviewed by probably dozens of mainstream media outlets over the past couple of years, and every single time, whether it's Fox News or CNN or ABC or any of the rest of them, they all ask the same question: what political party do you support? And I give them the same answer every time. The 10th Amendment Center is a non-partisan organization demanding adherence to the Constitution every issue, every time, no exceptions and no excuses. They always follow up with the same question. Well, what about you, Michael? We want to know where you come from. You're the founder. Well, what drives you? What political party do you support? None. I don't think they believe me, but it's true. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican or an anarchist or a libertarian or a green or a socialist or anything in between. I'm not even an independent. All I am is me. And all I want is to live free. I'm with you. Please join me and thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Okay. Just for the benefit